Death is the natural phenomenon that all the unenlightened beings fear most. They fear death because they are attached to life. But in fact, life is unreal, the death is real. The life that we experience is mentally created phenomenon. Everything in life that we experience is not real but mental images. And that is the view held both by the Buddhist science and the physical science of the modern world. Because our sense organs are so limited in their capacity, we can experience nothing outside or inside us completely. What we experience, as I mentioned earlier, is a mental formation. There is an unreality. But our world is full of mental images. The world I refer to is our mind. Because it is the mind that we experience in reality, but not the world outside, as I mentioned, because our sense organs are limited in their capacity to experience the reality outside us. Even inside us, there are mental images that deceive us. That deception is called moha in Pali, ignorance in Pali, meaning illusion, that is a wrong view, and that is also called micchaditti, not sammaditthi. Yet, as ordinary beings, we are attached to all those mental images. For example, we are attached to the image of our father, mother, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, daughter, son, brother, sister, etc. We love our country, our nation, our race, our culture, our traditions. They are all mental images. What happens at the death in reality is that we have to leave everything that we are attached in life. We have to leave things and beings. We have to leave our ideas. We get detached from what we are attached to. Enlightened one means a person who is detached from all attachments. Therefore, they are called vitaragi. Raga means attachment. Vitaragi means free from attachment. And that is called the vimukti, the freedom, the salvation one attains at the enlightenment. We dislike things, we resent things to which we cannot get attached. Things that are not in the way that we like. Therefore, with regard to our worldly experiences, we have both attachment in a positive way and resentment in a negative way. And both attachment and resentment are based on our illusion, of not knowing the reality. The basic reality that one realizes on the path to enlightenment through Buddhist meditation is the triple reality called anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca means impermanence. Nothing is permanent. That means everything is changing its form and capacity, and that is called dukkha. As everything is changing constantly, nothing can retain a permanent identity, and that is called anatta. Therefore, we can consider that anything belongs to us. All our ideas, our views, our concepts, our mental images are changing, constantly changing. They come and they go, like cloud that is passing away. As we are coming into the world and leaving this particular world, ideas are coming into our head, our brain or our mind, and they vanish then and there. Yet, we get attached to things, beings and ideas, concepts and so many things that we feel a reality, thinking that they are permanent, thinking that they are blissful, they are beneficial, thinking that they have a permanent identity. That is the opposite of anicca, dukkha and anatta. The boy or the girl that you marry cannot retain the same form that you marry after the marriage. They change. We are born as babies, but we could not retain that baby form. We were young boys and girls, but we are no more young boys and girls. We have changed. We were youths, and that nature also has got changed now. We become old, and at the end, we become dead bodies, and we leave the world. And that is the reality that we are facing in our life. That is the reality of life. Whatever that appear to be real in life are unreal because they are ephemeral, they are illusory, they are changing, because everything in our life is created by the universal energy. Energy is not a thing, permanent thing, but a dynamism. Energy is dynamic. That is the nature of the energy. Dynamic means creative, active. Active means everything is changing its form at every moment. Any activity is a changing of a form or a situation. And that change is called dukkha. The dynamism is called anicca. And the resulting non-retainability of any particular form in a permanent nature is called anatta. When we realize, gradually we lose our attachment to life and the things that we enjoy in our life. We become realistic. Buddhism is really a religion of realism, not an idealism. All other religions have an ideal world where you can enjoy your life permanently. An eternal heaven, an eternal God, an eternal creator, an eternal bliss that you can enjoy. In Buddhist teaching, there is no such eternal entity anywhere in the universe. Not in this human world, not in the divine world, not in the Brahma world. The supreme bliss called nirvana, beyond all that, is nothingness. It is emptiness. Empty of all things that we get attached to or that we resent. Therefore, nirvana is named as sunyata. Sunyata in Pali means emptiness, nothingness. And that nothingness, that emptiness is the eternal reality. The space is empty. The time is empty. There is nothing in time and space permanently. Yet, time and space are eternal. But that space and time are relative. That is what the scientists have found out, theoretical scientists say. In the black hole, there is no time and space because the world got formed after the explosion of a black hole. And it is still expanding after the explosion, as the scientists say and as what the Buddha says. Even that expansion is not permanent. It also comes to an end, as our life is coming to an end. Then there starts a contraction. Contraction ultimately ends in a black hole again, without time and space according to scientists' theories. This shows there is nothing in this universe to which we can get attached. The perfect realization of that reality leads to detachment. And the perfect detachment from things and beings is called vitaraga, non-attachment. That is the state of mind of an enlightened one. On the path to enlightenment, one gets used to get detached from everything, every being and every phenomenon. For example, in the Ratana Sutta of the Majjhima Nikaya in the Buddhist canon, one asks, the Reverend Sariputta asks Reverend Punnamanthaniputta, another enlightened one. He asks, why do you observe the Buddhist discipline called Sila? And he said, Sila Visuddhi, I want to purify the discipline, the Buddhist discipline, the mind, the words, and the deeds to be purified, not to do anything harmful to oneself and to others. That is the reality of the discipline called Sila. Why do you purify your discipline? Say, in order to purify my mind, that is called Chitta Visuddhi. Then ask, why do you want to purify your mind? Because our mind is a storehouse of mental images. They are not realities. Purify means really understanding the reality of our mind. I purify the mind to purify my right vision, Ditti Visuddhi. The mind has two capacities, main capacities. Mind can see things and mind can think of things that it sees. But here seeing is not the seeing by the eyes, mental seeings, awareness, sensation. The two aspects of the mind is sensation and thinking. And Chitta Visiddhi means purify the mind from thinking, come to a stage of not thinking. Then there remains the awareness, the sensation. Then I want to, next step is to purify the sensation, Chitta Visiddhi, that is called vision, mental seeing. Why do you want to purify your mental vision? Reverend Sariputta asks. Then say, Kanka Vitaruni Visuddhi, to clear all my doubts. Kanka Vitaruni Visuddhi. Then ask, why do you want to clear all your doubts? To purify my Magga Jnana Darsana Visuddhi. To find out or purify the path Nirvana, differentiating it from the path in the opposite direction of Nirvana. Magga, right path and the wrong path. Miccha Magga and Samma Magga. Wrong path and right path. And to find out the right path, I want to purify the Magga Darsana Visuddhi. Seeing things are there. Then as I know to purify your path, Jnana Darsana Visuddhi, to realize Nirvana. Then he asks, why do you want to realize Nirvana? Anupadaya parinibbana. The final passing away from this life completely, perfectly, finally. That means it is not enlightenment, the final goal in Buddhism, but parinibbana, called the final death or final passing away, after which there is no rebirth. Ending rebirth, ending life to which we are attached to. That is the final death. And that is the bliss of nirvana. Therefore, the bliss taught by Buddha is not the bliss of an eternal life in a heaven. The bliss of non-life, non-living in this world or in heaven. Because he has realized living is an illusion. The things we are attached to in life are illusions. Nothing is real. Only reality is emptiness. And entering the emptiness is the final goal of nirvana. And this final goal is attached by the Buddhist path called Magga in Pali. Reverend Buddhaghosa in Visuddhimagga declares Magga Matti Gamiko Noijati. There is a path to nirvana, but there is no traveler in that path. There is nobody trained that path. Atti Nibbhuti, there is nirvana. Na Nibbhuto, there is nobody who is enlightened in nirvana. That means, even on the very path to nirvana, you get detached from everything. On the first step, you get detached from the concept of self, the idea of self. Cessation of the idea of self is called Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi is called the idea of self, and the idea of self, the concept of self, the concept that you are a separate being ceases at the very first step to nirvana called Sotapanna stage. Therefore, after that, there is no individual or soul a self traveling that path, things happens automatically. That is why it is said in the Ratana Sutta, Chachabi Thanani Ababbo Katum, after the Sotapanna stage. Cha means 6, Thana means places. There are 6 sensory organs. The 5 external sensory organs called eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin, and the inner sensory organ called the mind. They are not doing anything by an individual. There is no doer, things happen. Seeing by the eye, you are not doing it. Hearing by the ear, you are not doing it. Smelling by the nose, you are not doing it. Tasting by the tongue, you are not doing it. Touching, you are not doing it. All those sensations of the sensory organs are natural phenomena. Nobody is doing it, they happen naturally. There is no doer after the first stage on the path to nirvana, therefore. And not only that, at the nirvana, there is nobody to be enlightened. As long as there is the idea of self, there is the desires. Positive desires called attachment, negative desires called resentment. Scientifically, attraction and repulsion. When there is a center called I, a self, no self. Selfless means death while living. It is the bliss of Buddhist path. Just existing without a self, without a center, but allowing the nature to carry out things in their natural order. And even death is a natural event. And when you allow the nature to take place, yourself, you are not in conflict with the nature. You become part and parcel of the nature. Therefore, attaining nirvana is really a naturalization. You are born out of nature. You are created by nature. You are sustained by the nature. You are being degenerated by the nature. You die by the nature. But when you mentally die to your separate self, you become part and parcel of the nature and getting dissolved in the mother nature is the final salvation, because there is nobody to control you and you are not controlling you. The self is not there to control you. That is the perfect freedom called vimukti, perfect freedom called salvation. Final salvation is the salvation from yourself, and that is possible by the final death called parinibbana. That is the goal that is mentioned in the Ratana Sutta of the Majjhima Nikaya. Therefore, by following the Buddhist path, our selfish nature gets changed to an unselfish nature. You become part and parcel of the nature. Nature exists for our benevolence. Rain is there for our benevolence. Sun is there for our benevolence. Moon is there for our benevolence. Rivers, streams, forest, rocks, mountains, the earth, they are all. The wind, everything in this nature is for our benefit. And when you become part and parcel of the nature, you become completely benevolent, without a self-center. The nature has no self-center. Similarly, the universe has no center. The space, The time has no center, the space has no center. You become part and parcel of time and space and the entire universe. And that is the final death at parinibbana that you can attain, and that is the supreme bliss, which is the goal of Buddhism.